So Greg Terry was not supposed to be putting out a video today. And when I called him, I was talking to him. I was like, okay, you're not putting out a video, right? Right. Okay. So what do you want me to communicate, or do you have a clip of something that you want people to see? Because I'll put that out, and then, we're pointing them to tomorrow when you're going to be doing your live stream. You're doing a live stream tomorrow, right? Yes, absolutely. Okay. In the meantime, if you have a couple bullet points, just text it to me and I will, report those bullet points, and then you can, just go on your happy way, aggressively rest. Um, you know, just send those to me. I'll put that out. People will be updated slightly. You don't have to do anything. You can just rest. So he texted me back and said, uh, I shot you a little video. It was just easier to do it that way. And so now, weirdly, I have a video of him doing this video that he wasn't supposed to be doing a video. So tell him he ought to be resting. Okay, here's the video itself. Let's hear what he had to say.
Because Dr. Gerdes gave me a buzz and says, hey man, you're on the aggressive rest mode, so please do not make a video tonight because you're getting ready to do that whole run again and we need you healthy. So
that's how much he listens to me.
He did ask me, he says, can you just give a quick update and I'll do it on my channel in regard to what's been unfolding during the aggressive rest period. So as you can see, first of all, I have got an aggressive rest haircut. So I went to the military barbershop today, got the military do ready to go. I'm drinking on some aggressively resting tea. That's good. Now, as far as what all of us are accomplishing together, here's what I can tell you. Remember, we are helping with batteries for communication systems. The first guys down south in a very difficult position, and the cranky guys. So we have already purchased the two. They've already been sent to Crinky, and the soldiers have tested them and they work perfectly. So now all of us together buying more batteries so that they can stay in communication. Those guys are special because when they go to position, they're on position for 5 days. So very, very important there. Now,
okay, so let's talk about the batteries. Batteries were not something that we were thinking about when we put out the Amazon list. But batteries, it makes sense. Like in a colder weather environment, the battery runs down faster. They need to be able to communicate. Commanders were asking for batteries. So there we are.
Now, and they're not the only ones. Other positions may be 72, 48, or up to 5 days, depending on where they're at. So that's pretty much how it is in the front line. So additionally, some of the mainline stretchers that were needed and requested, we have already purchased, and they are en route to us here in our base city. I'll be showing you pictures and videos of those tomorrow. Sleds for evacuation for evacuating wounded through the snow, purchased. And we will be loading those up. Additionally, metal detectors.
Okay, and so that was another thing, like the metal detectors he's about to talk about. We had no idea that was a need, but it was a need, and it only emerged when he got to talk to people that were on the front and find out what do you actually need. Third one was metal detectors. He's about to talk to that, and we also figured out about something about an add-on to the metal detectors. Listen.
Detectors are ordered. Thank you guys for being a part of that. And to tag onto the metal detectors, I was on Twitter last night, and I do not live on Twitter. In fact, I do not like Twitter, but there are a few people here in Ukraine I communicate with via Twitter. And I saw this tweet, and I don't have permission to say his name, or I would. He's a volunteer out of Great Britain who is actually a professional deminer, and he trains Ukrainian military for demining. So he had put this little post up, and I happened to see it, I guess. I don't know why, but I'm glad I did. And there is this tool that he was recommending or trying to raise money to help purchase, that when guys are en route, for example, and they come upon a mine with the metal detectors we're purchasing, then sometimes they need a way to undo that mine. And this is a little portable unit, and it's called a DZM-1. It's not expensive at all. That if it's a certain kind of mine, it can actually be flipped over and deactivated. So I communicated with him last night. He reached back out to me today. He'll be coming back into Ukraine, but he gave me the information, and we will be communicating with Kiev in the morning on purchasing some of those. So what I think is really cool is when we take a metal detector to a unit, additionally, we can also provide them with the capability to remove certain mines. So all cool there. Additionally, on the
Hold on, before he goes on talking about that, we talked about this yesterday, just he and I, and like, well, I mean, we got to find out if the commanders actually want it. Yes, 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 they want it. And it struck me that, like, we have no idea how many lives will actually be saved because of the purchases that we have been making, and it's just it's really enormous to think that people will continue to live because you all have poured out so much love on the people of Ukraine. It's heartwarming.
aggressively resting day,
Yeah,
worked
sure
with
you are.
Johnny today. His train tickets are purchased. He's coming to Ukraine sometime in the future next month. Additionally, today, while aggressively resting, met with a high ranking Ukrainian military
This is how he aggressively rests. He does all these things, and yeah, okay.
commander, not just the commander, I'm talking way up there in Kiev, who was here in my city. And then I will meet with him again in Kiev in a couple of days. But he is so pumped with what all of you guys are doing around the world in supporting Ukraine that he is going to open up to us with all the special permissions, everything we need to get to the most needed areas on the zero line. I mean, he's just so pumped up that you guys around the world are buying medical supplies and metal detectors and all these things. He just couldn't believe it. He says, Greg, wide open. I'm going to connect you with the most important places. And he talks about um, some of the positions, as we already know, the guys have nothing. Additionally, I talked today.
Yeah, yeah. So why is this commander opening it up? Because Greg has already proven I'm already doing this. I'm already delivering this. I'm already making sure that you get what you need. And of course, they want to work with him in order to do more of that. So good on you, Greg.
Day while aggressively resting to our battalion that we all are adopting. They're pumped. They're still training. And I communicated with their commander, Andrew, who you've seen on a previous video. And he's so excited. He and his guys have subscribed to my channel and he's watching every day. He sees your
That's
guys'
cool.
chats in the comment. Like I told you guys, when I'm live or whatever, please always put where you're from. They're watching and they're reading later. So it's very, very cool. He said thank you and he looks forward to us connecting. And finally,
And that's quite an encouragement to people in Ukraine who are defending their country, knowing that people like Greg is there, knowing that people like us, that we, other audiences, are also supporting what Greg's doing on the ground. And that's I wouldn't discount that. That's really motivating.
amazing news today. Jania called me earlier and says, man, we were cleared. Remember, the air shipment is on the way. He goes, we were cleared, not for it just to come to Warsaw and we have to deal with it, or Lviv and we have to deal with it. He says, but Greg, as we had hoped for, it's coming all the way to Khmelnytsky, and I believe they're going to unload it into our warehouse for us. So
How
there
about
you
that?
go. That's the great update. Dr. Gerdes, thank you for calling. And yes, back to the tea and the aggressive rest. Appreciate you all. See you tomorrow night on a live.
Okay, so you can see him tomorrow night on his channel at Greg Terry Experience, a live stream. So please go do that. He's lying about aggressively resting. This guy does not know how to rest. And come on, man, you're supposed to rest. Anyway, that's all that we have. Thank you for being the kind of person that cares enough to follow what's been given and to give and to care about this. It's really remarkable what's being done and the momentum that's been gained. Thank you for the likes, the shares, the subscribes, and for being the kind of person who cares about Ukraine.